Alright, what's up, y'all? Just got this little tangent I need to talk about. I'm just feeling really inspired, so, um, I'm sure you kind of be aware of this, but it's just a re-awareness, a refresh, something that I think everybody needs to be reminded of every day, because the world gets sometimes too real. And so I'll go off on some tangents here. Let's make this 10 minutes. Boom. Alright, so when you realize you are the dreamer, you make your reality, you co-create with the consciousness of the world. What world you want to see, unconditional without recourse, that every moment is holy and full of infinite possibilities, and only limited by our unawareness, our inability to dream. When you see the collective consciousness has created this world we live in, compartmentalized. Let's break that down. Com, part, mental, ized. The com is a multi-collective together. The com part, mentalized. The com is the collective together taken part segments, fragments. And then mental, compartmental is the multi-collective together taken apart fragments of our mind, brain, thoughts, ideas, dreams. And then the ized of the compartmentalized is the multi-collective together taken parts, segments, fragments of our mind, brain, thoughts, ideas, dreams, and visualized, contextualized, fully ized, and physicalized our mind. Compartmentalized. So you start to see that what is within our mind is also going to come out in the physical form. So we choose. So our mind is the world. The world is our mind. It goes interchangeably. We're just on Mother Earth ship floating in space for a nice, beautiful, perfect ride, where everyone else can go for their individual ride of a life. Some go for a roller coaster, some for a horse ride, plane ride, and for others the ride was so intense and real that they wanted to end the ride or choose another ride. You can only take so much stuff with you on this ride, and you can only take so much on this ride before you're taken off the ride. Okay, so when things get too real, I'll just go off on this, is like when the world becomes too real and you forget that it's a dream, then stress happens. Then things become very heavy, right? Things become all too real. We're stuck in our ideologies where things have to be consistent with our belief systems, and when they don't, we're not happy. And then we're stressed, and things don't go our way, and so things aren't, so then we're not happy. But when you realize that you are the creator of that dream, and you are where you are at that point in time, when you realize that, there's no problem, right? It's kind of like the guy going to the guillotine. His head's in the guillotine, and they're about to chop his head off. Well, in there, his head, before it's whacked off, he's in the guillotine, and there's no problem. He's breathing, his heart's pumping, there's no problem. And then whenever the guillotine goes down and cuts his head off, there's really, definitely, without a doubt, no problem for that guy. Absolutely. To infinity, that man has no more problems now, doesn't he? So you got to realize this stream here. So sometimes, we're just on this Mother Earth floating in space for a nice, beautiful, perfect ride where everyone else can go for their individual ride of a life. Some go for the roller coaster, some go for a horse ride, plain ride, and others, their ride was so intense and real that they wanted to end the ride or choose another ride. You can only take so much stuff with you on this ride, and you can only take so much on that ride before you're taken off the ride. And you can only be on that ride if you're so old, so tall, have no previous health conditions, paid the entry fee, got your parking pass, because it's not your ride, it's their ride. And only men are allowed, and you can only marry rich families because it's our dream to rule the ride. But we ain't riding your ride. We have a dream, a purpose, an ethical duty to do what's right, and ride it right. And have all the ethical checkups, tune-ups, manage this amusement park, because every rider is an employee of the same ride on Mother Earth ship, regardless of whether it's your park or anyone else's park. It wouldn't be a park if we didn't ride it. And so we, the riders, actually mentally co-create the park, the ride, and mentally believably dream the roller coaster to rise. For if it were not for the earthlings of this planet, it would be an empty ride, and there wouldn't even be the perceiver to know that there is no ride. Don't forget, it's just a ride. Now go ride. Nothing is real, only that which is true to the soul. So don't fight the soul. It only wants to ride. It chose this ride. Change the ride, or stay, but love this ride. So let's see how many minutes I got. I got about 4 minutes with y'all to kind of go off on some more tangents. And some more tangents would be, we're the only creature on this planet that actually fears death. The gazelle that goes down to the river where the crocodiles and the alligators and the lions, bears, and tigers, oh my, they go down there every day to feed. They cross the rivers, and they know the potential of dying. But every day they live to live and to die, And so mankind is actually the only one of the creatures that will stop living because of the fear of death. They won't live their dream because they're afraid if they try to live their dream, then they don't have the job, the wife, the kid, the dog, that dream, right? So they stay on that dream even though that dream is just not working out. And so they stop living. So somebody that gets married once, they love, then they get let down, and then they get divorced, and then out of fear they never marry again. We're the only species that would stop and discontinue to do something that we love based on fear of conditional hurt or pain. So you go and you get blown up in war because that's what kind of dream you wanted to have, and you go get blown up in war, and then you come back to the back and it's all peaceful here, but the mind is still in stress because it was all too real. The dream was all too real. So you've gotta chug booze to sleep at night, and you gotta take all kinds of pills that just get you to forget about what happened. And you stop living your life. You can't maintain a job. Anytime you hear a crack, snapple, or pop, you're going AWOL kind of deal. And it's because the dream was too real. And you forgot that it was a dream and that it was just a ride. So we are the only creature that actually fears death. Because whenever you realize that it's just a ride, and we're kind of riding it out in this physical form here, and then you realize once that physical ride is done, you've got this eternal spirit that is going to continue to ride another ride. And what that ride is the big, greatest secret ride of them all. It's